Good, beautiful morning, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. Today I have with me the energy of Archangel Metatron, who wants to discuss the concept and the process that's ongoing right now with the angelic and galactic collectives to restore humanity to the divine matrix. Very exciting time. We're going to get into that in just a moment. We're going to give people a chance to come and join us. So again, I've got the energy of Archangel Raphael with me on restoring the divine matrix to humanity. It's a beautiful thing. Life is amazing. Hello, everybody. I've got a very different view happening. Thank you so much. Yeah. Good morning. Hi, guys. Hello, Amanda. Hi, Drusilla. I was just doing the classes from the 102. Yeah, they're pretty amazing, eh? Hope you're enjoying it. Hi, guys. Welcome. Hi, Noni. So Noni. Hello, Lulu. Alejandro. Martin. Good morning. Hi, Marianne. Hi. Yeah. What a time we are in right now. There we go. Yeah, so we have this interesting transformation going on in humanity right now, and humanity is very resistant to letting go of its limitations sometimes. We're so resistant to letting go to the divine matrix. So this concept of the divine matrix, and you'll hear this message repeated again and again and again on this channel, because it's really important that everybody understands that there are two functional matrices in this physical dimension. In fact, in all dimensions, there's two primary matrices: the matrix of love and the matrix of fear. Each of these elements produce their own unique manifestations in your conditions individually and collectively. There are now tens of millions of angelic and galactic beings energetically here, assisting humanity with their opportunity to restore themselves to the divine matrix of love, as this is the request that we've received. We've been receiving this request now for several hundred years, that it is time to end your suffering. It is time to restore yourself to the divine matrix of love. Many of you who are struggling and suffering are issuing that call. Whether you know it or not, those of you that are suffering are actually calling forth our presence, as fear is a call for love, and love is the answer to fear. It is the only answer to fear. Love has its own energetic geometry, created and manifested by qualities of thinking, imagining, feeling. Thinking, imagining, and feeling are the primary tools for establishing the geometry, the frequency, the structure, vibrationally and energetically, for the function of love. As equally as there are elements of the divine matrix that overcome fear, once a geometry of love is established, the function of fear begins to shift its positioning in your consciousness and in your material world. Being able to feel love, being able to imagine love, and I speak not of the love that has been manufactured in your minds with such silly things such as special days, that love is exclusively a romantic function. or a physically intimate function. The function of love is the reunification of your consciousness to that frequency that gives, sustains, maintains, and evolves life in all of its forms. Whereas the function of the matrix of fear is destructive and detrimental to the divine matrix of love. It displaces it, is a more accurate term, as you cannot get rid of love and you cannot get rid of fear. You can simply replace them with the vibration of the other. What we are observing in human collective unconsciousness right now is the shift in the energetic geometry towards fear. And again, this fear, as unpleasant as it appears, has resulted in calling us forth. That we can assist you, if you are open and receptive to it, to restoring and establishing the divine matrix of love within yourselves individually and collectively. The vibrational energy produced by the word love, the vibrational energy produced by the word fear, constitutes a way of connecting personally with which is which, so that you can have a choice. The manifestations of each are very different. One often leads to abundance and prosperity. The other often leads to suffering and misery for somebody. But you are in this wonderful position now, all of you, that you can and have had the free will to establish either one of these. You have been given both geometries, as has every species sentient throughout the cosmos been given the choice between these two manifestations, that you may choose either love or fear, but you may not choose both. It is impossible to choose love and fear. You can choose one or the other. It is one of the few instances in creation where you must make a clear delineation between one and another, that you may experience one and experience it fully. The divine matrix is the functioning of love that is capable of doing profound things, as equally as the matrix of fear is capable of doing profound things, but not in such a pleasant way from the experience of your individual nature, or even the nature of your planetary system. Your scientists look out into the stars, curious about the events, some cataclysmic by nature, unfathomable by your experience, as galaxies collide, as stars are born and stars die. You observe these phenomena, incapable of comprehending that you too participate in the creation and manifestation of such experiences, albeit on a very small scale in this dimension, but you can still, from your perspective, see the potential difficulty that arises when you align yourself to the divine matrix of fear, as opposed to aligning yourself to the divine matrix of love. Yes, great galaxies in their error and their inhabitants in the functions of the divine matrix of fear or love, we see structures transform and change in actual time and space as you're observing on your planet. The functions of both of these, love and fear, while they cannot occupy the same space and time, they can coexist with each other in a somewhat awkward imbalance between the two, but neither can occupy the space of the other. But you are free to move from the space, the vibration, the matrix of love to the matrix of fear, and you are free to move from the matrix of fear to the matrix of love. Words and language, structured geometry, that is of the matrix of fear or the matrix of love. The consciousness, the beings The wisdom, the information, the knowledge that is unique to each of these different matrices is experienced by the structure of words and information and language. You structure the matrix for yourselves, as well as for your species, as well as for your planet, as well as for your solar system. And ultimately, on the much bigger scale, even for your galaxy. And all living beings in the confines of this one speck of sand in the great cosmos, which you call your galaxy, yes, it is predominantly balanced in the divine matrix of love. And you can see by its cohesive movements through the infinite vastness of what you can measure as physical space. And you see a structured cohesiveness to the rotation and movement of this structure of consciousness, this divine matrix. As easily as you can watch great galaxies colliding, transforming, and transmuting each other's conditions of existence through the divine matrix of fear, you get to experience the divine matrix of love in this galaxy. That does not assist you in avoiding or not experiencing on your own planetary system a much greater microcosm of that function of love, the events and circumstances unfolding on your planet are clearly a manifestation of a shift in the divine matrix from love to fear. Even your great soul, your sun, your soul, some of you will say, is interactive and reactive to your consciousness as you are to its. You have no choice. It has no choice, as you are both emanating frequencies of love and frequencies of fear. You are interacting with each other all of the time as you interact with your fellow brothers and sisters in flesh in this dimension, as you can even interact with us in the same format. You may interact with what you call the frequencies of fear, what some call the demons or the angels. You can interact with either of these. Again, the structures of language, idea, imagination, belief, these things reorganize. These things reorganize the matrix of energy, of love, of fear. You are reorganizing it all of the time. Some of you are doing a very wonderful job. Well, in truth, all of you are doing a very good job in the process of organizing the divine matrix of your own choosing. There's not one amongst you that cannot participate in one or the other. But we are here to aid you in restoring the divine matrix of love, the angelic hierarchy, the galactic hierarchy, those who have learned that they are masters over time, space, and matter, are in here responsive to you and your call to restore the divine matrix of love, both individually and those of you who are collectively engaged in such a process. As equally as those that you call of a demonic nature are also in this dimension, reacting and responding to those of you who wish to stay aligned to the divine matrix of fear. The process of the creation is not that difficult or complex to comprehend if you understand these simple terms of love and fear, that the functions of both, the thoughts, the words, the imaginings of either of these functions produces the effects that correspond to itself. By their fruits you shall know them. And so you may look around in your own life and the lives of your humanity and see, what are you predominantly aligning yourselves to? But we are here to guide you towards love, and there are those that will guide you towards fear, depending upon what you will elect to choose. The simplicity of using the word many of you have access to this. In fact, the vast majority of you are very able and adept at being able to use the function of creation as physical language. Most of you not understanding that spoken word organizes and structures. The spoken word organizes and structures the geometry that you call your life, your body, your mind, your circumstances. Even the word you hold in your mind organizes a geometry as equally as the words that come from your mouth. And in truth, they are not separate. What is in your mind will be in your mouth. Be mindful of what you will speak, for you organize structures of time and space and matter very precisely with the nature and quality of the words that you will choose and the imaginings, which of course are of the invisible realm, and your imaginings. Words and imaginings structure the function of your experiential creative process. Individually and collectively, you are doing this. We come to those that are open, receptive to surrendering the function of fear from their minds, their lives, and aid you in restoring the function of love to your mind and to your lives. And there are very simple and practical steps. If you request guidance, we will offer it to you if you are willing to receive it. You can request it and not be willing to receive it. We've seen that many times where you say, "Oh, I wish to be free of this addiction." We hear you ask us to help you with that. "Help me get rid of my addiction," you would say. And then we say, "Here's the energy. Do this and this." We even give you specific ideas. Don't do this and do this. And many of you will still choose the addiction in spite of receiving the guidance. Many of you interpret our thinking that we offer you, the requests for information that you give us, and we will communicate it to you, and you will hear our words in your mind and your voice and think that it is simply your own mind that is saying, "Do not do this or do this." You must learn to discern between the matrix of love and the matrix of fear in your own mind. And in the process of shifting yourself from fear to love, you will add to the transformation and change of your humanity as a whole. The function of love is to restore, sustain, promote the function of life. To sustain and promote the function of life. Ultimately, this is that simple. But any word you speak, any thought you think, is literally organizing the symmetry and the geometry of matter, time, and space. And that the structure of word and imaginings and thought give rise to the qualities of substance that organize conditions of matter. If you understand this, then you have a great opportunity in any moment to choose one or the other, love or fear. In any moment, you are doing this choice, whether you are conscious of it or not. It will not matter if you are conscious or not. You are always, without exception, choosing between the divine matrix of love and the divine matrix of fear. You can only choose one at a time, and you may jump back and forth sometimes. It's quite a fight for some of you, jumping back and forth from love to fear. It's like a boxing match in your own consciousness. And yet you can and are always choosing one or the other. Be mindful and conscious of your choice, that we can align fully and completely in aiding you in fulfilling the one. As equally as you may receive the aid from those in the vibrational matrix of fear, that they will guide you as willingly as we will guide you. that you, in any moment, not one of you in this world can escape this truth, that you are choosing either the divine functional matrix of love or the divine functional matrix of fear in any moment of your existence, whether you are conscious of this or not. You are all individually and collectively doing this, and we are simply here to assure those of you that wish to align yourself to the divine frequency of love versus the divine frequency of fear. And that there is a functional structure of creation that unfolds that's unique and distinct experientially from one to the other. This planet is based on electromagnetic geometry established by thought and word and imagining. What you call the mind of God held the geometry, the structure in consciousness that gave rise to the creation of this world. A clarity of vision and idea held so firmly and clearly in consciousness that life could rise as life has risen upon the face of this one planet of many countless planetary systems that also hold life in the forms in which life is held there. And you get to participate as that one that created the structure of the geometry of this planet and this solar system. So too, you get to learn that function in your life. Do not think of yourself as less than the divine from the perspective of whether or not you are creative as a function of consciousness. You are very creative in consciousness. Every thought you think, every imagining is a function of creation, organizing from the very subatomic levels of energy are responding and reacting to you and all that can think or imagine. The divine matrix, the matrix of fear, all are responding to you, whether you are in love or fear. The matrix that you are in is reactive and responsive to what you hold in your mind, what you hold in your imagination, what you speak. These structure functions of energy from the small to the great. This vast planetary system that you find yourself within is such a structure. Your science will never find the smallest particles, nor will you ever find the biggest of particles, although you have glimpses, albeit very, very small glimpses of how small can small be and how great can great be. But you are where you are in the process of realizing the divine matrix and have called us forth. There are numerous embodiments on this planet that are instructing some of you on clearing your mind of fear, clearing your mind of doubt, clearing your mind of anger, restoring yourself to peace. And the function, the proactive function of peace, what it does, as equally as there's a proactive function of conflict, there's a proactive function of peace. They're not simply a matter of sitting in a state of peace and just remaining there. Peace has a proactive component to it that knows what needs to be said and done, that peace is established. And you will all hear us, whether you are choosing to hear from love or fear. You cannot escape from the responsibility that you took upon yourself when you came into this dimension of creation. That you are energetically, consciously, intelligently, or unconsciously and unintelligently organizing your experiences, individually and collectively. And there are more and more vehicles arriving in this world that are able to be open and receptive to transmitting the wisdom and knowledge that is being called forth. And if you are open to receiving it, then you shall receive it. If you're open to applying it, then you shall experience it. If you are open to understanding love's function as thought, as imagining, as word, as action, then you shall have a very delightful experience indeed. There are questions about who we are. We simply say we are the angelic hierarchy on a vibrational, energetic structure of love. A vibrational and energetic structure of love. And there are vibrational and energetic structures that are not of love, that function by the exact same principles. Whether you choose love or choose fear, whatever matrix you choose to use as the mechanism for energetically organizing and creating the conditions of your life, they follow the same principles of the function of manifestation. But in any moment, you are organizing your experiences. You are organizing them as surely as your body breathes. And many of you are not even conscious of the fact that you can breathe your body. But you can be conscious of the fact that you are creating the conditions in which you are finding yourselves, irrespective of where you find yourself in the spectrum of experience in the human experience. Those of you that are in war are at war within yourselves, in your beliefs. Those of you who are at peace within yourselves and in your beliefs. Each and every one of you, and this may be difficult to accept, is exactly where you have manifested yourself to be, the existing conditions. When you understand the organizational principles of energy, when you understand the vibrational organization that occurs with thought and imagining, then you'll understand that you can look inside your mind and you can see where you harbor fear in yourself, and that fear precipitates more of that matrix as equally as the vibrational alignment of love. Did you know that there are those in your so-called war zones that are quite happy because they're not engaged energetically in suffering? It is what you might call the armor of God. Love is the armor of God. Love is the armor of God. Yes. So know that we are here, whether you hear us or not. But many of you hear us in your mind, in your own voice, when we say, you say, "What do I do?" And we say, "Do not drink that. Do not eat that. Do not speak that. Do not go there." Or we will say, "Go there, drink that, eat that." We will tell you when you think you do not know. We will offer it to. If your request is love, we shall respond. If your request is fear, then others will respond. I hope that you understand what has just been said, that we will always respond. And you may not even view it as us responding to when you hear your own mind thinking, "I ought not to do this. I better not do this." And you've asked, "What do I do?" And we say, "Do not drink this, do not eat this, do not say this." You are not alone in this creation. You are perhaps under the illusion that just because you hear your own thoughts in your mind, that they are all yours. But know this, that in any moment that you live, in the form that you are hearing these words through, that in every and all moments of your existence, you are in the process of choosing the divine matrix of love or the divine matrix of fear. You cannot serve them both. You may serve but one or the other in any moment, which is why you see yourselves going back and forth, because one moment you choose love and then the next you choose fear. One moment you choose patience, the next you choose judgment. Another you choose kindness, another you choose neglect. And so you struggle. Watch what your mind is thinking. If you at least go to the position where you begin to observe what your mind is thinking, you can recognize that you are choosing either the divine matrix of love or the divine matrix of fear in any moment. And if you are unsure and you say, what must I do here? And if you pay attention, you will hear us. If you're open to the divine matrix of love, you will hear us from that matrix. If you are open to your fear, you shall hear those that speak from that in your mind. As you are not alone in the creative process, individually or collectively, nor are any of us across all timelines, across all dimensions. We are all in this delightful dance of creation, of what you call positive and negative, yin and yang, good and evil. And we are here to assist you in the good. And as equally as you do, we also choose to align ourselves to the divine frequency of love, which allows us to express ourselves in such a fashion towards any that also seek this path. I want to conclude that your consciousness collectively is in a very interesting state of balance, or imbalance, you might say. As imbalance does not mean that you're going to fall. It simply means that you are not properly balanced. But individually and collectively, you are all in this position of learning to balance between one matrix or the other, love or fear. Which will you choose? What will you hear? Will you hear and invite the words, the guidance, the inspiration of love? If you are, then we are with you. You can never be alone in creation. It's funny, as he's saying, you can never be alone in creation, I'm hearing the word alone is all one. Very fascinating. Thank you, Metatron. I appreciate that. And so the guides, the angels, the ascended masters that are here are literally here to help us restore this vibrational energy of love. And it can be a challenge sometimes, but not impossible. Even if you're lost in the depths of despair, I can promise you, because I've been lost in the depths of despair personally, that you can literally move yourself out of that. Literally, you can make a shift in what your mind's thinking. You can change what your mind is thinking. Keep in mind, though, if you're predominantly in a state of fear, that there'll be the other matrix of fear, those entities that are causing war and starting more wars, and greed and selfishness and anger and avarice and lust and all these things that are part of that matrix, versus the matrix of love, which is about creation and compassion and kindness and creativity and playfulness and exploration. And there's many different descriptions to it. Many different descriptions to it. Got a question from Diva Queen 420 on YouTube. I moved us to the state I wanted to be in and want to have a farm community living where I can have a cat sanctuary dog rescue, unsure of my next move on how to get there. I have so many ideas to help community animals. Okay, so Deva Queen 420 on my YouTube channel is looking at building an intentional community for helping dogs and cats and other animals out. And I know that we have students, but we also have other members of our community out there that are interested in assisting animals that are also in the process of creating intentional communities. Reach out to, again, she's on YouTube under the name Deva Queen 420, looking for guidance and help about what her next move is. And that is your next move, to ask for guidance and assistance to come to you. People, events, and circumstances, you must energetically request them. I'm open and receptive to receiving the individuals and the resources to manifest this mechanism of divine manifestation. Understand that your thinking establishes a geometry of experience. It organizes what thoughts you think. Even your uncertainty can organize your experiences, as can your excitement organize experiences. Your excitement about this vision, you need to embrace your excitement about this vision, for you're now in the right area of space and time. And be open and receptive now that you don't have to do it alone, that there are many others that would seek to join you in such a divine manifestation that is yours, that others have a common version of that. Yes. So there's also a thing that I'm trying to remember. Off-grid. Look up off-grid living. This is a group. I think they're in Canada, but I think they have branches and groups in the United States. Group called Off-Grid Living, where they can guide you and show you in a few simple steps how to begin to set up the infrastructure economically and socially to gain people that will support your endeavor financially as quiet or silent investors that will help you build such an event. And they'll also provide you with mechanisms of using your manifestation as a vehicle for generating income. Because in this physical dimension, the way our society is structured, you need, at this time, because we're on the verge of seeing that system not functioning, the money system, which is based in fear, is not as sustainable as people think it is. But the creative element of like working with the natural world is going to be restored again. But yeah, check out Off-Grid Living, Deva Queen. That's what comes to my personal mind. But what he says is asking for the resources and people to come along that will support and sustain your creative process. Oh, thank you for that duck. Really appreciate it. That's the first time I've seen a duck on TikTok. Thank you. We got a question from Lauren. Why do we choose painful experiences? That is a really great question. Many of you think you are making choices that you are actually not making of your own accord. If you are unwilling or unable to evaluate your thoughts, and there is not one amongst you that is not unable, but if you are unwilling to evaluate your thoughts, then you will not come to the understanding of where the perpetuation of conditions that are unfavorable in your life are originating from. Many of the ideas and thoughts and beliefs that you harbor in your mind did not originate with you. And yet you are still the one that must go through the field of your mind and remove the weeds from there, the ideas, the thinking, the believing, the considerations that do not support nor sustain your life in the fashion that is most representative of love that you wish to experience. The beginning is the evaluative process. The beginning of liberation from fear and the restoration of the divine matrix of love in your life begins with the evaluative process. Your awareness is able to operate independent of the thinking mind and the remembering mind. You are able to articulate intentional, conscious, and deliberate changes in your thoughts. And your thoughts will organize the geometry of matter into your experiences. And so being able to go into that evaluative process first and foremost to as your one master says, sort the wheat from the chaff, the good thoughts from the not so good thoughts, the good ideas from the not so good ideas in your mind, to sift through it, to refine the field of your mind so that what is in there is pleasing to you. But that is quite simply the answer. You are simply stuck with, or some of you might say, identified with certain thoughts that do not serve you. Isn't that simple? The evaluative process must begin in order for you to liberate yourself from fear, from painful experiences even. And of course, the deeper and more difficult your physical challenges and your mental challenges are, the more you must be diligent in recognizing the distinction between the thoughts in your mind and yourself. There is a distinction in your mind between yourself and the thoughts in your mind. And once you come to that distinction, say, oh, I can observe this thought that comes to me to observe. I'm not this thought. And you may affect a change. Oh, I have this thought that I am not good enough. You have that thought in your mind. And you said, that is not a thought I wish to be the divine matrix of my life. And so this evaluative process puts you in the position of being able to change the matrix of your own mind, which ultimately changes the matrix of your experiential reality in both your individual lifetime and your lifetime collectively as a species. Wow, that was a great question. Thank you so much. So quite simply, I'm going to paraphrase what he just said. Quite simply, if you choose to hold on to painful thoughts and painful memories, you'll keep holding on to the pain. You'll keep perpetuating experiences of pain. I'm paraphrasing what he just said. But that process about getting to the evaluative process where we evaluate our thoughts, that's imperative. If you do not awaken to the fact that you are not your thoughts, then you'll be bound to believing that you are your thoughts. And I know what that's like. It's not a very pleasant place to be. Thank you for that super chat, Bogumila. And you too, Dova Queen, thank you for that super chat. Really appreciate it. Bogumila is asking, I would like to know what is best for me to move to a condominium or a house. I'm hearing that a house is the best move for you. Immediately, I'm getting this huge opening in my heart center. My whole heart center just opened right up. And I got the energy of Archangel Gabriel. He's communicating that he will guide you if you are open and receptive to that. But make certain that you experience in your choosing, before you make the choice, that you feel the opening within you about your choice. Feel your heart open with this choice. Because when you experience the energy of an idea or a stimulus from your environment, you can immediately know if the vibrational energies is of the matrix of love or the matrix of fear. You can know immediately. So be mindful of that process. Don't simply just choose a place to go because it might look pretty or nice, but feel the energetic awareness of it. Does your heart open? Wow. Thank you, Bogumila. I appreciate that. Hi, guys. Good morning. Hi. Oopsie. Let's see. Good morning. I'm just going to scroll up and see. I got a lot of questions here. Hi, Steffi's asking, had my private reading. You must book it. It's so moving and beyond spirituality healing. Yes, it is. Thank you so much, Steffi. That was a wonderful reading that you got yesterday. I really enjoyed that. It's an amazing thing when you realize you have access to information beyond what you know. You have access to infinite knowledge. We all do. Anyway, thank you. It was wonderful. Thank you so much for the wisdom and the knowledge that you brought to your life yesterday. I'm very excited about you. I wonder how things turned out. You'll have to let me know. Hi, that. Amanda saying, yes, readings are life-changing. Thank you so much. For those of you that want to book a reading, if I don't get to your question, you can use the Linktree link under any of my live videos on my YouTube channel or my Linktree link on my TikTok bio. And you can get access to booking a 1 hour or half-hour reading with me, getting a specialized private guided meditation from the Ascended Masters that can help you heal your mind and your body in profound and simple ways. But you can also get all the information on our masterclass series, which teaches you the function of gaining access to your guides, your angels, the Ascended Masters, the other multidimensional beings that will work with you in the energy that you're in. And truth is, they're all around us all the time. The lower vibrational demons are everywhere. The higher vibrational beings of the Ascended Masters, the angels, are all around. It's what you choose to align your energy to in any given moment. You know, if you get frustrated, you align yourself to an energy. If you get excited, you align yourself to an energy. And you attract and organize your experiences. As Metatron is saying, we attract and organize our experiences by what we, he used the words imagining, what you're imagining and what you're thinking are organizing to the subatomic level what you're experiencing. It's pretty cool. But thank you. Yeah. Selena is asking, good morning, William. What do my parents or spirit guides want me to know specifically today? I'm hearing these sounds in my head. You need to listen. You need to listen to they're tones. You need to listen to tones. Okay, I'm being told that crystal bowls would be good for you. Like, if you ever heard crystal bowls, they make a pure sound. But what I first heard was like tones, sounds that you need to listen to. There's sounds I'll be able to replicate it the way I'm hearing it. But you need to spend time today listening to tones that shift your energy. And this is really interesting that you're asking this question, because somebody else is saying to me right now, it's important you all know this, that when you cannot shift the function of your own mind, then find something energetically around you that can induce a change in your mind that you are unable to. Coming here, for example, you come to receive qualities of energy that we broadcast through this one here, that the vibrations transmitted here are received through your sensory apparatus. What you hear, even what you see. Sensory information contains specific codes of frequency that can raise your energy up or lower your energy down. Here we focus on raising energy up closer to the divine matrix, towards the function of love. But in your case, yes, going out and listening to, finding tones that shift your energy for you today. Like, you need to find sounds that raise your energy up. I really love that. Wonderful. Good, Drusilla. Who else do I know that is also in that genre? One of my students, Dova Queen, one of my students, Chrissy, might also be interested in that. So Chrissy, if you're out there, Dova Queen 420 on my YouTube channel, she's doing got a vision for an animal sanctuary. You know, hook up with each other and connect and share the information and wisdom, right? Because you birds of a feather flock together. Really important that we come together as communities now too. Thank you. Someone saying they would like to evolve in Dova. You got people that, if you look on YouTube, you got people that will step up as well. So any of you that have a venture to help animal life, to help human life, to elevate the collective unconscious humanity, there are many others like you in this dimension. You are not alone, and there are many others that are energetically willing to aid you and assist you if you open yourself to the divine matrix of love, to understand the value in what you are offering to the world, to understand it, and then be open and receptive to receiving the knowledge and wisdom that we will most certainly offer to you. Some of you call it downloads and receiving, but we will equally be by your side as, well, you know, the story of the devil and the angel on your shoulder. That used to be a metaphor you all used, but that is always true. You can choose one or the other, but you cannot serve them both at the same time, one or the other. Well, that's wonderful. I love the guys responding and helping each other out with that. It's beautiful. Hello, William. How are you from Australia? May I have an angel message, please, if you feel drawn? Thank you, Tiff. All right, from Australia. We got wonderful students down in Australia. I wonder if Maz is out there somewhere. Maz, if you're out there, I want to send you much love on your journey. Again, and we've also got Dean out there. Thank you so much. Oh, hang on. I got to turn this off because it will just continue. That is somebody on my website wanting to talk directly to me. So I'm just going to take a moment here and I'll dial this down for us all. But wonderful. It's always nice to see the universe responding. Yeah, okay. I will do that. Okay. So I'm just making sure this person understands that I'm on their side. Yes, it will work. It will work. Somebody wanting to book a reading with me. And I've got to adjust my spam filter on my website because apparently a few people have had their email addresses tagged as spam. So I'll have to correct that. So I apologize for those of you that are maybe having difficulty trying to book a reading, because we've had 3 or 4 people in the last 2 weeks that have had difficulty booking a reading through my website. Their your email address being flagged as spam. If that's the case, you can go to my PayPal and directly pay for your reading to my PayPal. And but when you do, if you choose to do that, please put the date and time that you want to choose it. And if you can choose from my calendar. Choose a date and time. It won't let you book, but it will let you book the date and time, but it'll be till payment pending. Then pay through PayPal. I know it's a little bit more complicated until I adjust my spam filter. I'm still learning about how to adjust spam filters. I'm not quite aware of all the devices that I've been plunged into in these last 5 years, but it's been very exciting learning. But yeah, you can pay directly through PayPal for your readings. Also, you can register for your courses and classes that way if you're trying. I know a few people had difficulty getting into the course, but we got it sorted out. We got it sorted out perfectly. Wonderful. Hi. Oh, yes, back to Tiff. Your message. Yes. Tiff, thank you so much. It almost got away from us, didn't it? Right? See that? When you go into something else drops off. But I'm being told, yes. They're telling me to tell you, and by there, I mean there's a strong male and female energy. They're standing beside each other. This is a very strong, yes, and I'm getting not quite archangel, but like angelic energy. These two beings, they're very strong male and female. They feel like twin flames. And they're saying it's really important for you to go into the sacred feeling of love. You can use your breath and make it sacred, not simply a breath but make your breath consciously sacred today. Make your breath consciously sacred. And you will open the porthole of communication consciously with us. In your breath, make your breath sacred. Make your breath sacred today. Wow, that's really cool. So that you can actually, through that process, and again, they say that you know what that means to make your breath sacred. To make your breath sacred today, to receive from them what you actually called them forth to give you. Yes, they're saying it will be easier to give to you directly. But yes, through the make your breath sacred today. Tell us what your thoughts are about that message. Amanda, thank you for that super chat. I really appreciate it. Hello, William. I feel I'm meant to help a broader group of people. Will I receive downloads in the near future on how I will do this? Thank you. I would recommend that you decide that you're open and receptive to downloads right now. Because we get a lot of people that want to, I want to be able to experience this, but you have to decide, I'm open and receptive to divine information. I'm open and receptive to love. I'm open and receptive to truth. Now. It's not going to be now. And Metatron said something a little earlier about sometimes when they speak to us, it will sound like it's your own thoughts. And that happens to me a lot. I went through that process of learning, whoa, wait, that went on for me for years. I wasn't even aware for years. My wife and her sister and other people that knew me, I would write these articles and poems. I wrote a series of poems over a period of 10 years called A Poem for the Day on Facebook. And these things would come through me, and I would think these are amazing, right? And I would share them with the people that were closest to me, and they would say, "That's not you." I never got what they were saying until 5.5 years ago when it opened up, and I realized, oh my God, they've always been speaking to me. So I've been writing and healing and teaching, not even knowing I was channeling for many years before I became conscious, aware that they're always around us. And it's an amazing thing. So Amanda, get to that place in your consciousness where I'm open and receptive to what I need to think, to know, to do. I'm open and receptive to receiving from love. And make certain that your energy is in a state of love. Make sure you are like, I'm so grateful and open and receptive to the energy of Master Jesus, or the energy of Buddha, or the energy of your guardian angels, or the energy of the Pleiadians, or the energy of the Blue Avians. The Blue Avians have been coming here in larger numbers, by the way, maintaining their profile fairly low right now. There's a lot of stuff going on, folks. So many different dimensions. Thank you for that question, Amanda. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And yes, I want to say, Tiff, remember, let us know in the comment section what the sacredness of breath is for you. Thank you for the teddy bear, Kathy. Really appreciate that. Aw. Thank you. Good morning, William. How do my guides think I should advance in my healing journey? This is a great question. They're excited you're asking this question. Well, if I could, what I'm feeling from them right now is like an applause, right? And because I'm feeling as an applause, I'm asking them about that. They're saying you must become more sensitive. You must become more sensitive to the energies, the subtle energies that you may direct through the body, in particular through your physical hands. Become more sensitive to the subtler energies, that they might be more potent in their function from your body to those that you would offer healing to through that mechanism that you call your body. Become more sensitive to this energy. Become more sensitive to its subtle energy, that it does not have the restrictions and limitations of being in the body, but you may transmit it very specifically at a great distance even to others. You can transmit the vibration of healing at great distances to others. But the hands are where you must learn to become aware of the subtle but potent energy that can be used in your function of healing, which of course is a function of restoration, which is a function of love. Yeah, I love it. Thank you. Okay. There we go. Thank you. And we'll delete that. Thank you. Wonderful. There we go. That was easy to do. Hi guys, good morning. 1101, that's the time right now. 1101, where I am. Terry's asking, will I be able to experience light language, or be able to speak light language? That's a very, I know the Pleiadians often use that form of frequency for transmission and healing and many other things, right? Because everything is about frequency. And the answer is, with with some mindful training. You must get your ego out of the way. You must divest yourself of the fear of being right or the fear of being wrong. You must get in alignment to the frequency of love. This is first and foremost in the sensing of the vibration of what you call light language. We transmit the function of light language through many that are open and receptive to it. You must understand that it is a frequency more than the definition of what you saw. When you say it is light language, it is a frequency of love that induces and restructures the geometry of your experience in this world. And yes, you may learn to articulate that language, but you must begin to first, again, quiet the mind. Stillness is important here. Be open and receptive to receiving the vibration of what you seek. Align yourself to the vibration of love. And then allow the vibration of love to articulate through you in the way that it will. Light language is not necessarily the format of information in the language of our people, but light language is, in all truth, the extension and manifestation of love in many different forms. When you give life to a child, when you agree to another that you will embody a new life into this world, that is a form of light language. Any act of love or goodness is a form of light language. But we know that you are speaking about the actual articulation of the language of light, which is of love. Yes, you may open to receiving that frequency, and you're open to being able to transmit that frequency, again, if you have no resistance, which is the resistance, of course, of fear that may precipitate itself in your mind. The function of light language is the function of love. Oh, thank you. Didn't expect the Pleiadians to come in like that. Thank you so much. Great question. What's this say here? So someone's saying, why does it seem people who do bad things seem to get away with it and their evil deeds? Because people allow it. They tell me that 80% of humanity is basically good. 80% of humanity is basically good. That's a phenomenal statistic. 80% of humanity is basically good and tolerant to their detriment. That 80% allows evil. They allow alcohol. They allow drugs. They allow people to do things that they are knowing is detrimental to the well-being of anybody. And that's been allowed, right? It's unfortunate. So the 80% allow the other 20 to do what is happening. If everybody disagreed, and again, the political leaders on this planet, 95% of them are extremely corrupted by demonic forces right now. 95% of the politicians on this planet are corrupted by demonic forces right now. Keep that in mind. We talked about this a bit last night on the live show on TikTok. And I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much. I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole right now. Thank you so much. I'm glad it was helpful. Thank you for sharing this live event. Much love to you. I wish you an amazing day too. Hello. 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 I will definitely do that. Good. Okay, this is a great question. So somebody's asking, this is really another important question. So somebody's asking, what are messages regarding tarot or oracle cards, pendulums to use as a tool to get answers? This is a great question. We're in the middle of our Master Class 102, where students are being introduced to the understanding that devices like tarot cards, oracle cards, pendulums, crystals, any form of divination tool are not meant to be a substitute, but a teaching device. Now, I'm paraphrasing what they were saying the other day in the class, that these divination tools are meant to be tools to retrain or activate your internal senses of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance. They're only meant to be learning devices. So you can come back to trusting your inner talents of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and claircognizance. And why most of you do not believe you have the capability to be telepathic, or you believe you have the capability to be clairvoyant or clairaudient or clairsentient, is because you have been entrained into the world of the five physical senses so profoundly that you are disconnected from those internal senses that are part of your consciousness, your soul. So these devices should be used only as ways of beginning to activate and reconnect to the internal knowing. Because inside, there's a part of you that's not the body, that's not the mind, that is a knowing, feeling, hearing, and seeing being. Without eyes, without ears, you can see and hear without eyes and without ears. And Master Jesus talks about this very deeply and profoundly, the simplicity of learning to activate your non-physical senses. So these are just teaching devices, pendulums, cards. And we very carefully articulate that you're not to get lost in the device, but use the device to find your own way of inner knowing, reconnecting to the internal. But again, these devices were distractions, were put in place along with, the things that are out in the world that keep you in the world, that keep you away from your inner knowing, keep you away from your connection to God inside, keep you away from your connection to Christ or the other divine masters that will work with you. They keep you stuck in the world, right? So these are only teaching devices to help you reactivate, reanimate, and reconnect to your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, your clairsentience, your claircognizance. In the master classes, you learn to do that. They take you through meditations and practices that reactivate your internal senses instead of being stuck in the external senses of sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. You don't want to give up the outside senses. You want to complement them with your internal senses of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and claircognizance. You want to have inner senses for the invisible world, outer senses for the visible world. You have an invisible world, there is a visible world, but both are real and both interact with each other. So they're only meant to be teaching devices. They're not meant to be a substitute for your clairvoyance. They're not meant to be a substitute for clairaudience. They're not meant to be a substitute for claircognizance or clairsentience. They're meant to help you to reactivate them, to begin to go within and activate these places of knowing. And we have practices like practicing yes and no's and sensing energies that help activate those internal faculties. Right? You want to learn to do that. Let's see here. You're very welcome, Lauren. That was a great question. I love that question. What was the name of the group that offers resources to live off the grid? It's a group in Canada called Off Grid Living. I think they've got different versions of that down in the state, but they're literally called Off Grid Living, and they've demonstrated and created a model that allows people to buy land, get financial support for that land, and build a community, an intentional community that can become an income generating system. And it's a very precise system that will let you turn your dream into a way to sustain your life, right? While building an intentional community. It's called Off-Grid Living. And again, do your research, because there's many different groups that are awakening and doing this now, because we've been so taken away from our own responsibility for our own food, our own shelter. We've been so far taken away from being responsible for our lives that what's happening is we're now dependent upon centralized banks and farming. You're dependent on people like Bill Gates and George Soros for food and shelter, clothing, health, none of which is real. the so-called health system, the so-called mental health and physical health systems are creating more sickness and disease than we've ever seen before. There's more mental unhealth and more physical disease on the planet in humanity than there has ever been, which tells you what? That the systems that these men are creating, centralized systems of health and mental health, are not working. There's systems of manipulation, control, and power. So these off-grid living concepts are very powerful right now. And watch who you choose to be careful who you choose to vote for in these coming elections all around the world. Be very conscious and careful. Read the policy and the fine lines of the policy yourself. Know what you're voting for. Very important, because this is a very important global transformation that's underway, that we're collectively choosing whether we're going to follow the path of love or we're going to follow the path of fear. And you can see that path we've been on for the last 4 or 5 years, right? That we've been mostly living on the path of fear. So humanity, yes, I understand. And the reason that they are coming here to us and through us is to help restore the function of love here. Wonderful. Very exciting. Oh yeah, better check that too. Hi, guys. But that was a great question. Thank you so much. Leslie's asking, my context for my living quality were played with. Off-grid is a sort of hidden, although it could have saved money. It seems I have to remind people. They call I couldn't afford it. Sorry, I don't know what that means. Sorry, I thought it was a question. Yes, thank you, Amanda. Yeah, please do that. Someone says, I'm following you, but I can't find you on TikTok Live. I don't know why not. I could also have them on Facebook when you do it. I would have loved to have heard last night's talk. So Leslie, on TikTok, just search William Michael Forbes. Be careful, there's a couple of fraudsters out there. We keep getting them. My TikTok family keeps reporting them and getting them banned, and I really, really appreciate you guys doing that. Finding the ones that send you. I will not DM you on TikTok. I will not DM you for a reading. I will not DM you for money. I will not DM you for crypto or investments. If anybody's doing that to you, report them and block them. The only where else I will request that you investigate my courses and classes when I'm live here and now, or as if you send me a message through my website, then I'll communicate with you directly. But I will not DM you through TikTok or Facebook or YouTube to take courses or classes or book a reading with me. I won't do that. I will, if you come to me through my website contact form, yes, I will connect with you that way. Thank you. So yeah, just look up William Michael Forbes. If somebody's on my YouTube channel right now that is also able to follow me on TikTok, I think Amanda, you're able to do that. If you could post the link to my TikTok channel on my YouTube channel for Leslie, so she can become part of the Thursday evening TikTok live event, right? Wonderful. Thank you so much. Galactic Girl 111, I hear you. He's mine too. Intense work. Yes, it is. Tina's asking, does my mom have a message for me? She's just sending me a picture of a little girl in a dress with a book on her lap, sitting among daisies. What's that image to represent? She says, look at the little girl is looking up at me. I'm asking her to show me the book, and she's asking me who I am. I'm somebody that's asking about a message from her mother. And the book she's tilting up to me, showing me right now, is Alice in Wonderland. She's showing me the book, Alice in Wonderland. She's a little blonde girl with blue eyes, and she's sitting among daisies. But what is the message to her? Yes. Okay, what she's telling me is you need to go out and sit in a place, find an arboretum somewhere where there's natural flowers around you. You need to go inside, go down inside, go inside and meet me there. So your mom wants to meet you inside. So find a place where you can be around a natural environment, flowers, but it has to be a natural environment where you can, yes, be open and receptive. She said she loved her little girl, always loves her little girl, loves her little girl. Thank you. Hi. Hello, Galactic Girl. If you're feeling disconnected at the moment, because there's a lot of energy out there trying to keep people disconnected, there is a lot of energy trying to keep you disconnected. And by disconnected, I mean the fear that's being propagated, the fear that's being propagated around the planet by all the governments, not some of the governments, all the governments, whether it's a Russian or Ukrainian government, every government on this planet, generally speaking, is a mechanism of fear to keep you in control. And most governments are run by demonic forces. Most, not all of them. There's a few exceptions, but I'm not going to mention them here. There are a few exceptions on this planet that do not function from fear as the primary system. Thank you. But yeah. So you have to let go of the fear. There's so much fear. Hi guys. Oh, lots coming. Oh, thank you for the dog in the box. I've never seen that dog with a bone in his mouth in the box before. Yeah. Don't miss his connection. Feel it right now. Galactic Girl, sit right now and envision Metatron's cube in your mind. Like hold Metatron's cube right in the center of your mind. In the very center, hold the vibration of Metatron's cube and feel his energy right now. He wants you to do this right now. Like hold the image of Metatron's cube in your mind, which is, if you've never seen it, it's an incredibly beautiful, intricate design, but it's a representation of the geometry that intersects with multiple dimensions. But hold that in your consciousness right now, and then feel his energy emanate from the middle of that. That will take your disconnection away too. Someone saying, having amazing experiences since taking the Masterclass 102. So amazing. Thank you. You're very welcome. I'm so glad to have you. Thank you so much, Loretta. Yes, messages. Get ready. Today and the rest of this week are going to be amazing. We're in the week of our Masterclass where people are learning how to release old emotions from the body, literally letting go of old emotions from the body, and how to let go of old emotions from other lifetimes. And it's the most difficult, but also the most powerful week of the Masterclass 102, where you get to consciously learn how to release old emotional energy from your body, right? What is that? That's a sloth. That's a three-toed sloth. Thank you. Thank you so much. All these things popping up on screen on TikTok that I don't know about. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hi, my name is Gemma. Do you have anything that jumps out for me? It's funny. I just had this compulsion to reach for a card, but I don't have any cards handy. I'm just asked to be given a card. Master Kuthumi, put your attention right now. Even if you don't know who he is in your mental personality, think of the name. Close your eyes and think of the name Master Kuthumi. Think of the name Master Kuthumi in your mind right now. Think that name right now. And feel the vibration that is stimulated in your consciousness by connecting to that energy. Master Kuthumi. Thank you. I love how that happens. And let us know in the comment section what happened. Yeah, the blue avians are pretty cool. I love them. They're keeping a low profile. A couple of them have revealed themselves in the last couple of weeks on the planet. I was just wondering if I can see my daughter's father watching over us. He passed away a month ago away 6 months ago. Well, much love to you and your daughter, first and foremost, and much love I'm feeling his energy actually dropping in now. Oh, wow, yeah, he is very much, he says he interacts with you quite often. Yes, he interacts with you both quite often. In the moments you believe I'm missing, I'm with you. I'm not away from you, dear. I'm with you. It's really important you feel this. Don't let your mind get in the way, because hearing these words, he says, feel it. Feel my presence with you. The goosebumps and things, the shivers that you're getting. I am with you, and I'm with her. What he says, watching over is the presence of his love to guide both of you, mostly her. He wants to give the guidance mostly to the daughter right now. He wants her to feel his guidance more than anything else, the guidance of his love. Yes, please tell her. Okay. To my daughter, please communicate that I'm always guiding her from love. Do not let fear direct you. Let my love guide 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 you. He wants you to really feel that energy. Give that to your daughter if she's not listening to this right now. But you already know how much his love means to you, because you can feel it all the time. Even though his body's not around, he tells me you feel him all the time. And he really appreciates that, even though you don't quite get it. Part of you keeps thinking he's missing, but he says, you generally speaking, she really feels me present with her. You do. The daughter needs to feel his love more. Yes. She has not been abandoned at all. Well, thank you for that energy. Really appreciate it. I got time for a couple more questions. Well, thank you for that wonderful message, Michael. I will work on becoming more sensitive to energy. Wonderful. Thank you. If I don't remember your question, that's just part of the process. Yeah, a lot of them are liars right now. Van Twinkle, that's making a statement. I recently received the idea of land stewardship as opposed to ownership, just as a way for humanity to move forward. And stewardship is, the native communities were the best land stewards in the last 72,000 years. In the last 72,000 years, the native communities around the planet were the greatest caretakers of the land, more than any other species since the Atlanteans, right? Sorry, just scrolling down here, guys. Natalie's asking, hi, Will. I was for a while thinking about Archangel Metatron, and your live popped up, divinely guided. Thanks for the high vibe messages that is being transmitted. You're very, very welcome. I'm honored and privileged to be a vehicle for that all the time. I really am. You are all vehicles for information. We are all vehicles for information. We're all either a vehicle for love or we're a vehicle for fear. That's it. Every living being, they tell me this again and again, every single human soul cannot escape the responsibility of creation. No matter what you are finding yourself in, you are a creator. And you may become conscious of that fact, or you may remain unconscious of that fact. But each and every one of you is in a function of creation right now. And every thought you think, in every word you speak, in every action you take, you are functioning as a creative influence in your experiential reality in this human dimension of time, space, and matter. Wow, thank you guys. Appreciate that. Sacred breath to me means to speak with purity, to also speak peace of others. That's beautiful. Thank you. That's a wonderful idea. So someone's saying, spot on, William. I do understand what sacred breath is. Thank you. Yeah. Again, I'm a transmitting and receiving station. I now know that. The rest of my biological lifetime will be devoted to just allowing their wisdom and their knowledge to flow through to humanity. That's it. In whatever way you can support this channel is going to help out. Give it likes, subscribes, follows. Use the tip jar on my Linktree link. You can go to my tip jar. Book a reading, sign up for a masterclass, learn directly from the Ascended Master. There's different ways you can support this modality of information coming to humanity in whatever way you can. And I know so many of you do that all the time, and I'm so grateful for all the support that we do get from our students, from our followers, and other parts of the community in different ways. So thank you so much for your support, everybody. It's really, really appreciated. It really is. Yes, that's right. Somebody just got that. Somebody just responded to what the Pleiadians said about that light language can be in many forms, not just in the blah, blah, blah. That I can't do it like they can do it. I apologize. I can't do it like the people that actually are in alignment to that language of the spoken word of the Pleiadians. It's very, remarkable. But it can also be in painting or in dance, or there's many ways you can articulate the light through you. Right? The Pleiadians I've worked with the light in the form that they work with it for many, but it's not just limited to the auditory sounds of the body. Hi, thank you for joining. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Somebody says I was taught not to use cards and divination tools. But I'm going to reiterate for you. I'm glad you were taught that, because they're only a learning device. A learning device is only necessary until it's not. When you were a little child in diapers, you only used the diaper to a certain point. When it was no longer necessary, you didn't use it. Divination tools, and we're all learning this in the Masterclass 1 or 2 about that. Divination tools are useful until you reactivate or reconnect to your inner knowing, your inner feeling, your inner seeing, your inner hearing. But in the meantime, there are devices that let you focus your energy from out there to inward. That's all. There's a bridge between the outer and the inner. Eventually, you give up those divination tools and you connect directly to your guides and your angels, because it's possible to do that. And you can still use the divination tools, but eventually you're going to have to give them up. Just like eventually you had to give your diapers up, or you had to give up wearing a certain pair of shoes because you outgrew them. When you outgrow something, let it go. Don't be afraid. You've got so much connection inside yourself. Thank you. Yeah, please share this. It's a lot of people keep saying to me, why don't you have more followers? Or because only a small percentage of people on this planet are open and receptive to this information. Everybody needs it, but only a small percentage are open and receptive to hearing it. And there's a lot of fear being propagated around mediumship that's both good and not so good, because there are mediums that are transmitting very low vibrational energies and information, and there are mediums that are transmitting high vibrational energy and information, and you need to learn to make those distinctions. Very important. But yeah, whatever you can do to get the word out, the information out. You can also, if you want to, for those of you on TikTok, if you want to see the original transmission from Metatron, you can go to my YouTube channel under my live videos and see all the different live videos that have been done Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays for the last 4 or 5 years on my my YouTube channel. Yeah, runes are good too. I used to use runes. I don't use any divination tools now. Thank you so much. Somebody's saying, what about the planets? Do they have strong connections? Yes, everything is energetically. The reason the systems operate the way they do is because there's electromagnetic connection between everything. There's all this fear being propagated around the solar flare and the magnetic pole reversal. People do not understand that humanity, individually and collectively, we are interacting with the electrical energy of all other things. If your energy is predominantly joy, you're feeling amazing, your electromagnetic field expands out and becomes cohesive and strong. That's what happens. When you're in a high vibrational state of love, excitement, playfulness, creativity, love. When you're in a high vibrational state, your feeling is strong and stable. When you're in a low vibrational state, like sadness or depression or fearfulness, your field collapses and becomes weak, and you become open to influences of lower vibrational energies. And humanity collectively is emanating a field. You're not just doing it yourself, but all of humanity, what we all think and feel and believe together creates a field. And right now that field is shifted more from love towards fear. We're more fearful as a species than love-based as a species. Notice I'm tilting my hands from fear to love. Think of the magnetic poles on the planet, the field of the planet, the electromagnetic field of the planet, which has a north and south pole, right? Positive, negative, love, fear. And that human collective consciousness, which about 150, 200 years ago, was really high. There was a harmony between humanity and the world at its peak. The native communities were thriving, and they were interacting lovingly with the world and doing what they were doing the best they can. And the collective unconscious of humanity was mostly love. And so the magnetic fields have stayed perfectly balanced. The poles have remained pretty stable. And all of a sudden, humanity started getting violent aggressions right around where the conquest of the Americas and the conquest of the native peoples of Africa, the conquest of the native peoples of the continent of Australia, the conquest of these beings that were living in, for most all intents and purposes, in harmony with the field of the world, were conquered. And since that last move in towards North America, where the native communities were genocidally attacked, that created a massive shift in the energetic human collective unconscious, so that the balance of the field of humanity shifted, and the electromagnetic field of the planet, which is connected to our collective electromagnetic field, reacted and responded. So we now see the poles shifting, the planet becoming electromagnetically imbalanced, because the vibrational frequency of fear has been made more dominant in our collective unconsciousness. And the goal that I've been given is to be a vehicle for wisdom, knowledge, information that can help restore human collective unconsciousness back to love, which will create a rebalancing of that system. But as long as we keep tilting towards fear, we're literally watching the magnetic poles tilting away from their normal spot, going to a place where they'll meet, and there'll be a planetary shift based on that progression of fear that we're seeing on the planet today. I personally don't want to be a participant in that type of a system. I'd rather participate in a system of love, creativity, compassion, kindness, patience, and to rebalance humanity and our relationship with the earth. They are out of balance, and the magnetic fields both of humanity and the earth are reflecting that back and forth. And the field of the sun is interacting with the fields of the earth. And the field of the sun is reacting and responding to the earth, because they're electromagnetically connected. You could say electromagnetically, emotionally connected. Electromagnetically, emotionally connected. Emotion is energy in motion. It's electromagnetic in nature. Please understand this. This is information that they give me all the time. And I'm just sharing what they give to me all the time with you guys. But we are electromagnetically imbalanced. We're more fear-based on the planet than love-based. And there is a tipping point. And Master Jesus has told me about this tipping point, and he's told me the timelines for the tipping point. We've been given till May of 2044, where that physical shift will actually happen if we stay on the track of fear that we're currently on right now. If we collectively stay in this state of fear, then there's an inevitable outcome. Just as if we collectively move our consciousness into a state of love, there's an inevitable outcome. And you can see clearly in social dysfunction, in disease, both mental and physical, you can see these are electromagnetic manifestations of fear. Disease, whether it's physical or mental, is an imbalance of an electromagnetic energy from fear to love, from love to fear. Fear creates destabilizing energies, which will ultimately reset. Like when you get really sick, the body goes into shivers and cold, the body has a flu, it gets very imbalanced and in discomfort, and then a reset happens and suddenly you're in a new state of health. Well, the planet and humanity have gone through this type of change many times as different civilizations evolved and arose. Even before Atlantean times, there were, dozens of civilizations way before the Atlantean times. I've only been told about Atlantis, Lemuria, New Eden, and a few others. What you call the Egyptians is very different than what you think, right? But there are many civilizations far beyond the parameter of what is commonly understood today that existed. But many of these civilizations arrived at that point where their emotional energy got unstable. And that instability created a change in the electromagnetic interaction between the species and the planetary system. Anyway, I'm going on and I apologize, but it's really important you understand the connection electromagnetically between ourselves and the trees and the birds and the sky. The electromagnetic relationship between ourselves and this whole planet, the solar system. You are not limited to the causal nature of what you perceive with your five physical senses. Please understand that you have a connection profoundly to life that is so intimate that you can fear the earth and you can fear the sky and you can fear the sun, and your fear will reap its own reward. And you can delight in the earth and the sky and the sun, and you can love it, and you will reap your own reward. For what you shall hold in your heart, so it shall be in your life. There are only two functions that you may choose: love or fear, God or the devil, good or evil. Each will reap and yield its own reward. Wow. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. So see that one person just made just a query. I love it when that happens. Oh, good. Somebody's reckoning. So yeah. So these solar flares that are coming, you can fear them, or you can transform the energy from fear to love. The Earth's magnetic field and our magnetic field individually and collectively interact. The Earth's magnetic field interacts with the sun and the other planetary magnetic fields. There's this incredible dance of energy. It's electromagnetic. That's the scientific manifestation, electromagnetic. Your emotions are electromagnetic. Thoughts are electromagnetic. Actions are electromagnetic. It's beautiful, eh? So simple. That's why Jesus always says, watch what you think. As you think, so it shall be. And so it is. So humanity, I don't know who's listening out there. Please understand that we have to surrender our fear. If you think that establishing authoritarian rule is a function of love, you're sadly mistaken. If you think stifling the freedoms of expression, whether we like them or not, or disagree with them or not, is beneficial, then you are sadly mistaken. Creation is structured very differently than a single conception or belief. Creation has levels of complexity and magnificence to it that function along very simple principles of the energetics of love or fear. And every thought, every word, every action can only originate from either love or from fear. It is that simple. All of your thoughts, all of your words, all of your actions can only come from either love or fear. And you have the free will to choose one or the other. And what you choose shall be what sows what you shall reap. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So someone's used to work at the hospital, refused to get the shot, and now they're trying to figure out what to do with their life. Yes, I know, because you came here as a healer. Most doctors, most nurses, most medical professionals came in to be healers. Because they came in to be healers, but they got caught up in the matrix of conditioning. In other words, the profit being made by disease is so vast. People have no conception of just how much money sickness makes a few individuals. But those individuals, about 200 years ago, created a system called the medical profession and created a system that allows certain things to be said and done in that system. And that system allows many people to come in as doctors and nurses and technicians, and that were by nature meant to be healers, not drug pushers, but healers. But this system that's been created on earth today does not allow the doctors to function as healers. It allows them to function as diagnosticians and, well, for lack of a better term, drug pushers. And that's what's happened to them, and they're meant to be healers. And I believe that in all my heart, that most medical professionals came into this dimension to be healers, not to be mechanisms of the machines of profit that benefit but a few. And those few that benefit right now are about to experience, well, they are in the process of about to experience the reaping of what they've sowed. You cannot sow fear and reap goodness. You can have the illusion of that for a period of time, but my compassion and love to those of you that have done evil to humanity, for you shall reap your reward. You shall reap your reward. There is no escaping it. Should we actually be voting? This is a great question. We should actually all withdraw. If everybody withdrew their taxes, if everybody withdrew from the conventional way of having food, if everybody started growing their own food and withdrew from the systems that have been created to control and manipulate you, it would have to be done on such a scale, and you'd have to get literally half the planet to agree to it. In North America alone, if the 400 or 500 million people in the Americas were to say, we're not going to contribute to taxes, we're going to grow our own food, we're not going to participate in supporting you, and then just stop listening to the politicians, you would see a massive change very quickly. It would take a month. They would have absolutely no money to do anything. If you can't pay your soldiers and you can't pay your police, they're not going to be on your side. And understand that the police and the military are mechanisms to protect government. They're not mechanisms to protect you anymore. They're mechanisms to protect governments. Take a look at how all your politicians are now. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you. You're getting my personal opinion now. Are our Earth years preordained? No, we are creating. What's happening on this planet is a creative effect of our collective causes. What's happening on the planet is a creative effect of our collective causes. What we all agree to or disagree to do, what we choose to think, feel, and believe individually and collectively, is structuring events in time and space. The war you see going on around the world in Ukraine, these are manufactured from greed and fear. And they're going to create broader causes and effects. And those people that think they're safe in their castles, well, you got another thing coming, guys. Doesn't matter how deep in the mountain you go. You could have changed all this. You still got time. You got about 6 years to change this, to change the function of humanity from fear back to love again. You have time. Yes, you have to know the truth to set yourself free. Definitely, Drusilla. Someone said, we are, in fact, any political system that is pointing the finger at somebody else, which is all of them, okay? In South Africa, I've heard what potentially can happen there. And they've set man, brother against brother on this planet. It's not about black and white, yellow and red, brown. It's not about your skin color. It's about the quality of your character and the quality of your actions. And there's only two qualities of character and action that exist, love or fear. If somebody said, these people are doing this to you, and they all do this, watch your politicians. They are all doing it to you. If I could say to you, you have the power to say no to every politician, it must be a collective, intentional, united function. Say no to your political leaders. Say, no, we're done with secularism, because that's what politics is. It's a form of secularism. Whether it's Democrat or Republican or ANC, it doesn't matter. Any secular system is designed to, by nature, they're demonic. They separate. They deconstruct unity. And we need a centralized system of love, not a centralized system of authority. And love does very things differently than fear. Just look at it. Love, what love does, what love says, what love produces is very different than what fear does. If you think there's such a thing as a just war, you're wrong. War is not a function of love. It's a function of control, power, and fear. It's a demonic weapon. But I send you all much love in South Africa. I pray that each and every one of you make a decision to support and sustain love and not fear. Do not vote for fear. That much I can say. Do not vote for fear. Vote for love. And it's easy if you evaluate the policies of any government, you'll see if they are policies of love or policies of fear, if you think about it. Every action, every law, every rule, every script, everything that you observe in your world is either a function of love or a function of fear. And you may know which is which. Listen to your heart. You can know, is this, when they say, oh, this is racist, is that a word of love? Is that a speech of love? The functions of love and the functions of fear are very precise. And you can know them if they're of fear or they're of love. They will tell you, they cannot hide from you. If you are listening, you can feel, oh, this is fearful. To say that we should get rid of all of these people, that is fearful. To say we should attack those people, that is fearful. To say we should only allow these people and not these people, that is fearful. Love unifies, fear divides. Quite simply, love unifies, fear divides. It is very simple. Specialness, thank you, brother. Specialness is not necessary where divinity prevails. Specialness is not necessary where divinity prevails, because divinity is of love. Specialness is of power, control, and fear. Wow, thank you. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm so grateful that you guys have come out today. You're very welcome. Oh, I'm so glad you're enjoying that tree. Wonderful. Yeah, I've never seen a sloth as a gift before either. That was really cool. Thank you so much for putting that up there. The anniversary of his 6 years passing is the 24th. Does he have a message for me? Yeah, I think we got that. Thank you so much. You're welcome, guys. So we will see you guys on TikTok tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm actually thinking of moving it earlier because it's just fair, because sometimes we can be on for 2 or 3 hours, and I want to make certain that everybody has a chance. Thank you for the horns. So for those of you on TikTok, I will see you guys tomorrow night. For those of you on YouTube and Facebook, if you want to join me on TikTok, you can join me on Thursday and Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And for those of you on TikTok, if you want to watch any of the replays of any live transmissions, go to my YouTube channel and you can watch the replays and the lives there. Remember to like, to subscribe, to share. Use the Linktree link in my TikTok bio to get access to all our courses, classes, to book a reading with me, to make a donation to the work that we're doing here. And I want to wish each and every one of you much, much love. And remember, today is a brand new day, and now is a brand new moment. Much love, everybody. Have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day, and I will see you guys on the next one.